Yes. Welcome once again, everybody. A new week here at Cannabis News. I'm Joe Klare. It's September 17th, 2018. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Click that video tab at marijuanatimes.org to find the show. There's also a bunch of great writers there. A lot of amazing articles. Also, our social media networks are linked. All of that. marijuanatimes.org. Marijuana Times. Check them out. Today we got stories out of New Jersey, California, and the United Kingdom. Across the pond, we are going. All of that coming up. But first, Cannabis News is brought to you by NatureSide, nature-side.com. Side is spelled C-I-D-E. They make and sell organic, all-natural pesticides, grow safe and poison-free. If you're a cannabis cultivator in a state where it is legal, you don't want to use harmful chemicals on your grow, you want to be regulatory compliant, you do all of this with NatureSide, nature-side.com. Go check them out, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Don't spray pesticides on what you are growing. We'll talk about that a little bit more here coming up. We talk about the story out of California. But first, polls show majority of New Jersey residents favor recreational cannabis if it means lower taxes. Yes, that's right. Jason Sander wrote this over marijuanatimes.org. Basically, there was a poll of about 1,500 New Jersey residents between the 9th and the 19th of August. The survey numbers show that 44% of those polled approve of legalizing recreational cannabis, with 31% saying they were against it. So there you get the first number. You got 44 to 31. Now, if you add in that their taxes may get lowered if recreational marijuana is legalized, those numbers go to 53. It's up 9 points. And the opposition drops to 24. There's a drop of 7 points. So it's a huge swing. 44 becomes 53, and you have a winning issue if it means lowering taxes, hypothetically, in this poll. Now, there's a couple. Well, first of all, as I always say about these polls, they do matter, but they shouldn't matter. I'm not going to go into that big spiel again. You know what I'm talking about. You know, what people think about marijuana shouldn't determine law. But I have a real problem. Oh, second thing I want to mention is that if you're thinking that legalizing recreational cannabis in New Jersey is going to lower taxes, is not. I mean, this, like I said, this is hypothetical. The odds that New Jersey lawmakers are going to be like, oh, we're getting this tax money now from legalizing marijuana so we can lower it in other places. And Jason points out in the story, NJ.com points out, the state currently carries the highest property tax burden in the country. So, and I say this as someone who wants you to vote for legalization. I support legalization in New Jersey and everywhere. I think you should vote for it if you're in New Jersey. But if you think it's going to lower your taxes, no, probably not. But here's my real problem with this poll and the people who responded to this poll. 31% of them say, you know what, you're a criminal. I think you should be a criminal. I think you should face penalties for using and possessing cannabis, even if it's just in your own home. But some of those people, I don't like those people to begin with. I think they're wrong. I don't think their opinions or moral objections to marijuana or whatever it is should have any basis in law, because people who use cannabis, as I pointed out, are not infringing on the rights of anyone else. Therefore, they're not criminals. But a certain percentage of them said, oh, wait a minute. I think you're a criminal, but if you want to give me a little cheese, a little cheddar, little ducats, bones, some Skrilla, if you give me a little Skrilla, I could maybe see my way to, maybe not thinking you're a criminal. What is that? What is that? You're literally bribing people to allow you to do something that does not infringe on the rights of anyone else. I hope they don't lower their taxes. I hope they vote for legalizing marijuana. And you know what they're going to have? They're going to have more taxes on top of the taxes they already pay. Again, I say this as someone who supports legalization, but if you're a cannabis consumer, you're going to pay all the taxes you already do, and then you're going to start paying taxes on marijuana as well if you buy it legally. That's what's going to happen. But this notion that, well, I'll vote for it, you give me a little money, maybe I can look the other way while you're smoking and enjoying the privacy of your own home. No, that's garbage. That is such garbage. It's such a pile, envision a pile of garbage. That's what that is. And the people who change their mind are the worst. The people, the 24% said, no, I'm not taking your bribe. I'm against it. At least those people have some kind of principles. The other, the 31 to the 24, that 7% drop, those people are the worst. They're like, yeah, you're a criminal. Oh, did you say money? Oh, well, then, hey, well, maybe we can talk. How much money are we talking? How much Skrilla? You got Skrilla? Make little hand motions. People are garbage. That 7% is garbage. I'll say it. If you're one of them and you're a fan of the show, well, stop watching. Turn it off. Turn this off right now. I want to have my program sullied by your presence. This next story is from apnews.com. Big safety testing failure rate for California pot products. Again, as I said, this from AP. Nearly 20% of marijuana products in California have failed tests for potency and purity since the state started requiring checks on July 1st. A failure rate some in the industry say has more to do with unrealistic standards and technical glitches than protecting consumer safety. Basically, people who are failing these tests are saying, there's not much wiggle room. There's difficulties. Maybe sometimes the potency's a little bit off. But they should have more leeway. Of course, they have excuses. Some are valid, I'm sure. Some are not valid. Whatever. The problem I have is not really the potency aspect. Although you want to know if you're buying 22% THC, you want it to be 10%. You want it to be pretty damn close. But they're saying it's like, they only have like a 10% window. So if you say it's 23 and it's actually 20, then you failed the test. Which, there's at a certain point, you want to, you can't just make up numbers. You want to get as close as you can. But the people are failing for pesticide use. Now, we do the Nature Side promo beginning of every show. They've been our sponsor now, 226 shows, every single show. And we do it, of course, because they're our sponsor and we bring awareness to them. But that's not the only reason. One of the reasons I'm talking about organic pesticides, organic pest control, is because no one who ingests cannabis wants to ingest pesticides. These things are designed to kill insects, mites, bugs, whatever, kill them dead, all of them, and then make sure they don't come back. To make sure that the area is so hostile to them that they don't return. Now, yeah, we're not bugs, we're not mites, I'll give you that. But we are biological beings. And we're ingesting, we're smoking, vaping, edibilizing, eating. It's my long made up word for eating. Edibilizing. I like that word. That's really going to become a favorite of mine. But nobody wants to ingest pesticides. So I'm not just, whistling Dixie here telling you about our cool sponsor. There's a benefit to everybody who uses cannabis. If the person who grew the cannabis you're using used some sort of organic pesticide, even if it's not Nature Side, if it's somebody else, whatever, that's better than just saying, hey, Roundup probably causes cancer. I don't know. Spray that crap with it. And then people that it's not flushed right and it's not, it's not done right. So the pesticides end up in your lungs, and that is a problem. And apparently it's happening in California. It's happening everywhere, I'm sure. But I would hate to see tests for, black market, so-called black market cannabis. I'm sure it's not good at all. I would cringe probably if I saw the numbers from, stuff that maybe I smoked in the past. I'm sure there's quite a big failure rate when it comes to compliance of this sort. But it's getting better. Legalization is new. Standardization will come into play and things will get better. This last story from across the pond in the UK. Cannabis easier for kids to buy than alcohol, a report claims. Wow, really? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I know that we have some UK viewers, and you correct me in the comments if I've gotten this incorrect, but I believe in the UK, in the United Kingdom, that cannabis is illegal, i.e. prohibited, aka not allowed legally, and alcohol is legal. So, shouldn't the legal thing be easier to get than the illegal thing? Isn't that what prohibition people tell us all the time? That if it's legal, it's easier to get. But how? How do you explain this? Whoops! I got so excited my headphones came off. I'm so confounded. I'm discombobulated. I don't use that word lightly. I only bring it out on special occasions. How could cannabis be easier for kids to get than alcohol? I don't understand. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Drug dealers don't check IDs. Alcohol is harder to get than something you just go to your buddy or his brother and buy it. Drug dealers are going to be like, oh, well, you're 19. Well, I can't do that. But they don't have a license to protect. People who serve alcohol and sell alcohol, they have a very expensive license to protect. They don't want to pay very expensive fines. They don't want to lose that license, which allows them great profits from the sale of alcohol and cannabis if it's legal. Something legalization supporters have been saying for many, many years. And prohibitionists were like, no, if it's legal, it's easier to get. No, it is not. That the myth has been absolutely destroyed. There's so much data now out of places like Colorado. Marijuana use is going up across the board, except for people who are not old enough to get it from a recreational store. Those numbers, if they don't stay the same, they've been going down. Across the nation, in states where it's been legal, look at any data you want. Are people over 65 smoking more? Sure. Baby boomers? Yes, more. People in their 20s are probably even smoking more and using more marijuana. But not teenagers. They're not using marijuana. And as I said, in a lot of places, over certain periods of time, that use has gone down. Drug dealers don't check ID. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. The Children's Report, compiled by drug policy think tank Volte-Face, revealed that 44% of young cannabis users said it was very easy to buy, as opposed to 22% who said the same about drink. 44% said it was very easy. 22% only said that alcohol was very easy to get. It's weird. Don't know. I don't know. It's almost like the prohibitionists were wrong. But that can't be right. Whoops. What is that? Graphic snafu. While I was mocking someone, I was mocking prohibitionists, I had a graphic snafu. Less mocking, more paying attention to what's going on. Although, some mocking is in order, of course, for prohibitionists. They were not right about that. Again, my sarcasm betrays me. And that's been Cannabis News for today, September 17th. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Search the Marijuana Times on YouTube, Vimeo, and Apple Podcasts. That last one if you want the audio-only version of the show. And, of course, marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab. Thank you to NatureSide, nature-side.com. They are awesome. And if you inhale they have been sprayed on, then you're not going to have the problems you would about pesticide use. Organic, all natural pesticides, NatureSide. Go check them out. Thanks everybody for listening, commenting, liking, sharing, all of that. And we'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.